Yo, yo, check 1 2 1 2. How's it going? I know we don't got a lot of people tuned in or anything yet, but that's not really the point of this stream. We are looking to do a, not necessarily tutorial. Eric's over here hanging out. He just got his second brand new CDJ3000. Look at that. Oh my God. How beautiful these things are. You got to excuse the C920 camera up here. It's not as clear as the Sony is up here. We're definitely looking to upgrade that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into some features and stuff like that. And while we do this, we're going to go ahead and mix as well. We're going to have fun with these things. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. Let's interact. Let's figure out what these things do together. But I'm going to talk Eroc through some of these features here while we get going. So I'm going to turn the overhead cam on. So if you look right now, I'm just going to turn this off. The screen itself is way bigger than the CDJ3000, the CDJ3000 Nexus and the CDJ3000 Nexus 2. Instead of seeing however many songs and certain information, it's now a touch screen picking where you want to sort by track, scroll up and down. And bear in mind, I'm figuring this out as well on the way as we're doing this. Hotkeys are now horizontal rather than vertically up and down. We have quantize and slip mode now located up here rather than a button over here and the slip mode being over here. We have a new loop section. The loop section, it's always a lot of fun. You can't really see this on the camera what they say, but this says in adjust, out adjust, in/Q/out. And this is your traditional reloop and exit button. Let's go ahead and load a song. Eroc, if you want to pop a squad over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I got Mr. Eroc right over here.
What up, guys? How are you?
Texas legend, streamer, supreme, longtime homie. Back to the decks. So let's take a song, scroll through. I'm going to pick Tommy by Doza and Locust. Oh, wow, look at that wave file. That's so huge. You guys can't really tell.
On the top right.
Definitely. All the touchscreen features. Let's jump into that. Let's talk about the buttons and how it's all laid out first real quick. Because this is very familiar, but a little bit different, just a little bit different as far as how to function with these guys. So previously, now that I've got the song loaded, I'm just going to play it. Previously, if you just pressed and held the in button, it would turn on a 4-bar loop. I'm curious to know if it still does that, so let's see. Yeah, it does actually, so it goes right to 4-bar loop. Now let's turn off the browse by pressing this button, and now we can see our screen. And like Eroc was saying, the features on this guy are really, really more intense than the previous CDJs. At my studio, we have CDJ3000 Mark 1s. They don't have any sort of touchscreen at all. They don't have the big wave file. They have a small wave file that's only 2 colors. And you can see the loops once you have your loop adjustment on. But what's awesome about this is we have our beat loop function by just pressing this button. You see how big the wave file got. Now we can press this and we have different numbers for beat loop. We can go up to 32 beats, and depending on how you have your BPM set for your DJ sets. Well, me, for example, I have all my drum and bass at halftime speed. The main reason I have it at halftime speed is because, well, A, I use 9 Inch Nails Closer as my reference track. If I can bob my head and sing 9 Inch Nails Closer, then I know I can mix it with drum and bass. And I know 9 Inch Nails Closer is 90 BPMs, which is what this is set to right now at the pitch adjustment here. However, also at 90 BPMs, I can hit 32 beats, and it's a true 32 beat loop. With drum and bass, if you have it set to double speed, 174 to 180, if you hit 32 beats, it's really only half a bar or half a phrase. It's 16 beats instead. So that's why I personally use 90 BPMs, and everybody, all my peers, everybody has it set double time. And I'm not hating on that at all. That's just why I personally use the BPM halftime instead. Because I know drum and bass is 174, I get it. 174 BPM for life, I totally get it. But ever since I went digital with CDJs back in the day, with my laptop, 2006, 2007, I purposely did that just to match 9 Inch Nails Closer. Because that, again, that's ever since I started spinning, that's what I could reference my drum and bass beats to. If I could mix it with that, or if I could sing to that, then I could probably find a place to mix it with drum and bass. Anyways, so we are... Oh, you have secondary loop function. So, okay, this is awesome. So you guys can barely tell on the camera, barely. So what this is we have the orange loop, the traditional quarter beat, half beat, 1 beat, 2 beat, 4 beat, 8 beat, 16 beat, 32 beat loop, full phrase. We can hit this secondary loop section, and what it does is does off time loop. So we have 3/4 of a beat, 1 beat, 3/2, 3 beats, 5 beats, 6 beats, 7, and 9. Notice there's no 4 beat, there's no 8 beat, there's no 2 beat, there's no half beat, no 8 beat. So what that means is these are just off time loops, which is really awesome. And I saw James Zabila, one of the pioneer CDJ masters. I saw him do a video where he was mixing some tech house, put on an off-time beat, and it made it go into drum and bass, and he mixed drum. It was just insane. Look it up, James Zabila loop feature, something on YouTube. Check it out. You'll be blown away. I've never heard him play drum and bass, but that was really cool. Anyway, so let's go back to this normal loop feature. Thank you, Eric, for pointing that out. It's really awesome. So the beat loop touchscreen over here section says we can beat loop with this button right here. You see I'm pointing at it. The next button is key shift. So let's go ahead and turn off the loop by pressing this exit button. And now, you know what? Instead of for the key section, let's go ahead and do something that has more of a tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to find a track. Well, oh wow, so what Eric is pointing out, I'm used to just using this scroll knob to find my track, which I'm just a little more comfortable with personally, but you can totally scroll. The response is not like an iPad or anything, but it's definitely there. And we'll talk about the refresh rate here in a second with the resolution on the screen, how fast it goes. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to find a track. Let's go for something that has like I'm just looking for something that has like a tone, essentially. Let me go to the laptop over here and type it in. Oh yeah, duh! You just like my XDJ3000s all the way to CDJ Nexus and Nexus 2002s. This has a type function, so I'm going to type in video game breaks, or let's do scratch sentence. This is a really good example for tone play and stuff. Sentence. Here it is. Scratch sentence. So now this is a scratch sentence, y'all. In case you aren't familiar. Quantize on. It's loading to the first.
Let it hit 'em.
Hot cue. So here we go. Let's go and find a tone, which is at the end here. Using the buttons that we had earlier, I'm going to go ahead and just. Well, it's already loaded as a loop because I have the hot cue set as a saved loop. So now you can hear that. Now let's go back to this function up here I was talking about, this key shift. So what this does is it lets us change the key of the actual tone or song. That's all the way up, and I can go all the way down. In context, you could probably do something like, let's put it back to normal. And go back up. Let's do a wind. All I'm doing is taking the in and out, making the loop, and just making it longer or shorter. I press the out button. Now I can pull the platter out, make the loop way shorter, but on top of that, I'm going to do some key shifting at the same time. Let's see what it sounds like. That is pretty fun to play with. I can only imagine what that's going to be like in context. That's pretty amazing. So let's keep going on some features and let's find another song. I keep pressing the back button, so I'm just going to hit the search button again, and let's X out. Let's play. If you guys have any requests, we can try and type in some of those requests. Let's play "Brown Paper Bag" by Ronnie Size. That's a really classic song. It's just what comes into mind here. Brown paper. Nope, not protective. There we go. Awesome. So let's keep going on the actual features here. So next up is beat jump. This feature here is my all-time favorite feature when it comes to digital DJing. I'll tell you why. Ever since 2007 came in, when I started using Tractor Scratch myself, they introduced beat jump. And I didn't really use it right at first, but what it is it lets you jump the song on beat while you are playing the song. So I can do that in the mix as well. And I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of different examples here in just a second, but let's just hear what it sounds like. We can hear this song playing. All right, so now I'm going to jump it 4 beat. What that does is it lets me jump the song on beat. Now, on my XDJs, I can do the same thing on half a beat all the way up to 4 beats. That's it, 1 bar. But exactly what I was going to say. On these new CDJ2000s, or I'm sorry, 3000s, and on the CDJ2000 Nexus, you could actually jump all the way to 64 beats on the player itself, which is really awesome. What that means is they added more memory inside the deck itself. My XDJs, the memory is like basically like an old Motorola phone, so it can only jump so much. If you load too much at once, it'll actually go in emergency loop and you have to reset them. But these guys here, obviously, just like the Nexus 2s, you can jump more, but even more now on this. So what I normally do to mix my tracks is I'll beat jump and find the drop and find 32 beats right before the drop, so that way I can mix in a double drop really quick. First things first, let's put it.
Yep. You can assign this, right? So if you hit this, I think it's up in the settings. So if I go in the settings and hit the beat jump value and turn this up to 32.
You can see what value you're going to see up here.
Right, and then now go back when you hit back.
What
off
Eroc is saying is down here, y'all can't see it on the screen, but there's a beat jump value here that lets us know what we can jump if we press it or tap it.
So once it's on there now, now once it's on there, we've got.
Once it's on there, we have it.
Right, and then what you're gonna do.
So what this button does is we didn't get to this part yet. We have buttons right here that are dedicated beat jump, and this button right here lets us set what value that's going to be, which is cool. However, I think it's a little more intuitive just to have dedicated buttons on the touchscreen here. And this is really cool, and this is what I wish every CDJ ever came with. I feel like mine would probably be 16 beats, or either 8 beats or 16. Well, just so I can jump. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find my double drop points. First things first, I always set a hot cue at the beginning of a track. And now let's set one right. I'm going to set a hot cue 32 beats before the drop. So just 32 or 64 beat jumps all the way. And you can watch on the screen, watch where it goes from here to here. And I'll find the drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits of the 32 beat jump. And now we're here at the drop. All right, so now let me jump back once on 32 beats, and I'm going to hit a hot cue. Now that is my reference point to do my double drop on this next track. On drum and bass or house music, all these tracks, you start to look at them like puzzle pieces. You start to look at them like Tetris pieces. You think that, oh, this track might work with this, might work with that, but now with these big old screens, you definitely can. So let's load a song here. The double drop probably won't sound that great, so no big deal. So if you can see over here, I have Valley of the Shadows by Chase and Status, or the Chase and Status remix. I put it in the key of A, which means it's probably not going to mix with this brown. Oh yeah, A and G, that might work. So I've got 3 hot cues. This hot cue C over here, I know because I've set it up before and I played this track a million times. That is going to be my 32 beat jump or point where if I press my 32 beat on Brown Paper Bag or whatever else song, the 9, I call it the 9 effect because the 9 does this teaser thing. We won't even get into that. But I just know that I have to press play right here in order to double drop the next song. So let's go ahead and give it a shot really quick. Give me some time here. All right. So if you just saw, I was able to double drop those 2 songs. I've never actually mixed those 2 songs before, and I'm no genius for instantly being able to mix those and make those sound good right at the first time I've ever done it. All I did was just press beat jump a bunch until I figured out when they needed to mix at the same point. Back in the day, we did that with vinyl and I used to write with Sharpie marker on silver Sharpie on my vinyls, on my vinyl records, and it's the same thing essentially as a hot cue. It didn't skip the record, none of that. So again, beat jump instantly with this value set here, or I can just go into my screen and touch it here. And all that the only sacrifice you get is your waveform becomes a little bit smaller. And I mean, as beautiful as this looks to us here in front, you guys cannot see the resolution. I cannot stress it enough. No tape. I'm sorry, Josh. I hate to cut the stream. But no, tape isn't really my favorite to use because it ruined the sticker and stuff like that. So I always use a silver Sharpie on the records that were important. I'll pull one out here in a second and show you how I did it. But either way, Beat Jump only sacrifices a little bit of your screen, not much. And I think it's well worth it to have that rather than use the buttons, even though I prefer these buttons. And I've long said that these search buttons, this search button here is just like in your car stereo or at home. It lets you seek the song back and forth, right? I've long said that should just be dedicated Beat Jump buttons. Like, that makes no sense to me. And on the Serato DJ3000 by Pioneer, they did that. And that, to me, is the best way Beat Jump could be implemented without a touch screen. But here we are with this $2,300 player. They better have a touch screen. Excuse me. So let's keep rolling along. So we've kind of not exhausted, but looked at the screen enough. Let's keep going with the actual tangible buttons here and talk about what they do real quick, okay? So before hotkeys were ever invented, before these pretty colors were ever invented, we had regular memory cue points. That's it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set a cue point at the beginning of the song, just like we did with these hotkeys. And for the sake of what we're doing, let's put this in delete mode and delete the hotkeys that I had. You'd put in delete mode by holding it down. And you know to hold it down because there's a square around the word delete above. Pioneer has a language. I'll probably do a video all on that itself, but you have to hold, it's basically like a shift button when there's a square around it. So I've deleted all my cue points. It's telling me no cue point when I press that button. No cue points, so they're already deleted. So what I'm going to do is, instead of hot cues, I'm going to put in memory cue points. And I'm going to go to the beginning of the song. So we got one right here at the beginning. I'm just going to press the cue button first. You can't see it, sorry. Press this cue button first. Now that I've pressed Q, you can actually see there is a cue point on what we'll get to in a second is the new platter screen. So that cue point is there, but it's orange. I'm going to make it red and make it stay there by pressing this memory button. It's called memory. And this actually existed all the way back to the CDJ200s, CDJ800, 1000, CDJ850, 900s. You couldn't use hotkeys on any of those decks. So the way we got around super quick on these decks was doing memory cues. So like I said, we're at the beginning of the song. I hit Q, I press memory. I can press these buttons now to go back or forward to my next memory point. So right now I only have one at the beginning. If I press forward, it doesn't do anything. It says no cue point. See it? You can barely see it on the screen. So I'm going to press back and you'll see what happens to the song. Watch. It stopped the song. It stopped the song because it's a memory point, not a hot cue point. Now let's talk about the difference between memory cue and hot cue real quick. So right now it's my cue point. This is the cue button and it goes back. This is the play button. I accidentally hit an effect there. So Q, I'm going to hit play. And when I press play, let's consider it hot. It is hot. It is turned up. The crowd can hear. Everybody's dancing, whatever. If I turn it down, oh, you killed the hot signal. That's the hot, right? So that being said, I stopped the song. I can set a hot cue. Now I press the button instantly now, and it lit up green. You can barely see it on the screen. So I'm going to press it now, and it's going to play it because it's a hot cue. If I do a memory cue, it stops the song, but it gets me there. Now let's continue on. Let's set another memory cue at the breakdown. So here's the breakdown. Right at the breakdown, I press cue point. There's one right here. I'm going to press memory. Now I've got two memory points. I've got one at the beginning and one at right here at the breakdown. So when I load this song next time, these are already there. I don't have to save it or anything like that. I'm going to press the back button to get to the beginning. I'm going to press the forward button to get to the breakdown. And it instantly takes me there. But it's not hot, meaning it's not going to play. So I'm playing it. I'm going to press back to get back to it, and it stops it. So let's continue on, and I'll show you how this can work in context when you're trying to mix really quick. Let's go back to the drop now. Let's do it right when she says the vocal drop right here. Right there. Let's put a hot cue there. Or I'm sorry, memory cue point. Press Q. Press memory. Now let's go to the drop. Press Q. Now memory. Now let's go to the next breakdown. There we go. Next breakdown. Now I'm going to press, I hit Q. Now I'm going to press memory. Now every time I load this song, I can just press these buttons here to go back and forth. So I'm jumping back and forth. If you watch the screen here, you'll see it to and from. I know it's hard to see on the stream right now. Forgive me. We'll try and do a more HD video. So let's talk about what else these buttons do, because these are actually secondary buttons for the looping as well. So let's press play. Let's activate one. Let's press one of these brand new loop buttons. We got a 4-beat dedicated 4-beat loop button and a dedicated 8-beat loop button. I'm going to go ahead and press the 4-beat loop button. You can see it's looping. Now, I believe I can press these and vary up the length of the loop like the old CDJs. So I'm going to give it a shot. So yeah, it works identical to how the old CDJs worked, and that's glorious to me. But from what I understand, you can actually go into the menu function here, and you can go to your auto queued load, I believe. Hot queue auto load. Nope, you can't. I was hoping maybe that these new queue buttons could be hot, meaning they play when you get to them, but no, they don't. But that would be no different than hot queuing. What keeps playing? Yeah. Well, no, not the song. I'm talking about right. So that's as far as I know it goes. We'll dive into the menu functions here in just a second. So obviously the bottom half of the deck doesn't really have anything different from the old CDJs. We have our jog adjustment, which is only one adjustment now. If you notice the CDJ3000 Nexus and CDJ3000 Nexus 2 and then CDJ2000, those three models all had two adjustments for vinyl breaking. What I mean is I press it instantly and you hear it stops sort of like a turntable. If I turn it all the way wide, it'll stop like a turntable now. I mean turn off like a turntable. Now if I turn it all the way and close it, it'll instantly play and stop. Which is, I kind of use it on the turntable start stop button mode. Sounds like this. That's how I have my stuff set up in my software anyway. But instead of having two knobs, what you have to do is you have to go into menu and select what that knob controls now, from what I understand. Right underneath that knob, we have our jog mode, which puts it in CDJ mode, vinyl mode, or CDJ mode. And you hear it flickering. That's because it's in CDJ mode. And CDJ mode, when it's flickering like that, I can move the wheel and get to where I need. And that's how I can find my cue points if it was an older CDJ. Why does that exist on a $2,300? Why do I want this to behave like a 1991 CDJ, mid-90s CD player? Because some people come from that age and have that CD player for 20 years and come to this sort of thing and aren't used to all that. They're used to, spinning the whole dial to beat mix and stuff. So they don't want the scratch mode because they never really used it before. We have to understand as underground DJs and drum and bass DJs, sometimes I'm quickly reminded that we are the bare minimum as far as this stuff goes. Like you see your Hardwell and Tiestos and Diesel Boy and everybody using Pioneer gear. That's definitely the industry standard. But when it comes to DJing around the world, underground DJs we are not the main users of a lot of this. A lot of, you got to understand a lot of dance clubs, a lot of strip clubs, a lot of, adult clubs, a lot of stuff like that. A lot of establishments, restaurants, they're going to have this sort of stuff. Not necessarily the 3000, but maybe, Pioneer gear, because it's industry standard. People can walk up to it and know what these buttons mean when they read them out loud. Basically what I'm reading out here to you guys. So that's why you won't see off-brand stuff normally. Or actually nowadays, you're going to see a lot of DJs having to bring their own controller. Or sadly, you're going to see this gear, $4,000, $6,000 worth of gear, and you're going to see some bloke come out put it on top of the mixer and be like, oh man, I'm ready to spin, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, that is so insulting. Julio and I are actually, my business partner and I are actually working on a new plan to make sure that people get, our DJ school kids don't want to do that in the future. We want to put it in their brains that you have to use what's there. And all the way from the 70s all the way up to, you know, very recent. Even still today, the Techniques turntable is still the industry standard. That being said, the reason why it's the industry standard only went through a few iterations throughout time is because it all looked the same. Everybody could use it. The buttons were in the same place. And then it got copied by everybody. No big deal, but they're not all the same. This Pioneer gear has, this bottom half looks identical almost to the CDJ3000 except for these buttons right here. And that helps so many DJs to jump in and play music on them if they've never touched them before. I've never touched one of these before ever once. Well, I'm sorry, I did open some yesterday, but I didn't get to play on them or anything. This is my first time actually touching all the buttons and playing and stuff. We have a lot more to go over features-wise, but I really want to play on these. And my friend Eroc came over, Eroc, you guys know. So we're going to just mix for a little bit. He's got his USB stick in here. These things can take SD cards, USBs. They don't take CDs anymore, which, whatever. I've got my laptop hooked up because my USB stick died, but I've got my whole library hooked up through Ethernet. I'm not even using the performance mode. I'm only using it basically as a hard drive. We're just going to hang out and spin. You guys have enjoy what we do if you want. You guys have any questions at all, please. I'm going to go scroll through the chat. I know I was blabbing this entire time, but I'm going to go through the chat, see if you guys have any questions, and if I don't know the answer, we will find out together because that is my favorite thing to do. That being said, Eroc, please come over here. I'm going to start Brown Paper Bag Over. Well, maybe we shouldn't play Brown Paper Bag Over because y'all been listening to it for so long, so let's go ahead and got some logistics for you guys. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Eroc.
What up, everybody? Eroc, Dallas, Texas. So yeah, I'm gonna play some tunes here. Try to get a couple of nifty features. Like you said, holler out if you want to see something. I'll try to make something work. Show off a few things here. We'll get into a little slip mode, some other things in a minute. Instigator. Shouts to Brooklyn. Shouts to Lousy Music. Probably not pronouncing all the names right. I can't see them when I don't have my glasses on. I'm squinting over here, old man. So we're good. Big ups to everybody. Tighten some of the screen closer for me. Shouts, man.
Don't step up. 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 Step up.
So let's talk about some more features real quick. We have on the screen, you guys cannot see it on the stream, I'm so sorry, but you actually have a bar up here to help you know if you're in beat or not. Really helpful. This is my track Jump with Shaolin. I'm about to test out the beat juggle situation here. And again, you can't see it and I'm so sorry. But my logo and everything is like right here on these guys. So on the CDJs, on the old XDJ1000s as well as Nexus 2s, you can instantly duplicate this deck to that deck, and that's exactly what I'm going to do really quick. In theory, it should be the same way. So what you do is you load the song, play it. This is the master deck. You set it to the master. Then you make sure the sync is on. Then over here, you make sure any record box track is playing. Press and hold sync. And it loads the same song. So now here we go.
Jump, 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 jump.
Man, the response is ridiculous. It's honestly, and I'm not saying that because I'm doing it with my own track or anything, but oh wow, that response is ridiculous. I can't even get over it. Right, flip mode. So just like on all the other CDJs or controllers, actually controllers can do this because they're capacitive jog wheels. These are actually touch sensitive. What Eroc is saying is I can actually, depending on where my jog adjustment's at, I can use it as a crossfader, and if I have slip on, the song will keep playing. So obviously it takes a little bit of getting used to, but that's pretty cool that it's even more responsive now. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be so weird going back to turntables and my personal XDJs. But yeah, it's pretty intense. Anyways, let's keep jamming out. Yeah, Josh, this setup is dope. I wish it got to stay here, though.
Yo, big shouts out there, everybody. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Eroc in the mix. Big shouts to the Ultimate Supermod, the one like Brooklyn. Shouts to Jealousy Music. Shouts to Xenofoon. Respect everybody else out there locked in right now. Big ups, big ups, big ups. Dallas crew, Texflex crew, worldwide, what up? Big shouts out there, Twitch Universe. I agree, man. I'm going to have a shot of vodka here in a minute. Let me mix this tune in. Shouts out there, guys. Big it up. Titan says he'll be right back, so I guess you guys are stuck with me for a minute. Haha, big ups. Let me know in the chat. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Yeah, smoke him if you got him. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Titan did a great job on the deck view. Yeah, this is thumbs up, all thumbs up from the Eroc right here, that's for sure.
I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Oh, you can't keep me here. You don't know what I'm feeling. Please don't make me go inside. Who am I kidding? You couldn't make me. Substance inside my heart zone. Whoa.
homegrown.
It's homegrown, unique and untouched. Swayed up, it's clean and it's completely uncut. Shake the dust off. I'm settling down, sin safe, bring it up. Spread it around, I kicking back. Into these lazy days, I keep my feet up to my knees. Yo, praise the ways, the curtains close. The curtains close.
It's homegrown. It's homegrown. It's homegrown. It's homegrown.
Appreciate you calling that out, Jealousy Music. Pick it up. Shouts, guys. Big it up. Appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying the mix so far. Just having a good time over here. Eroc in the mix, Dallas, Texas. Live on Titan Stream. Just rocking it out. Appreciate you guys. Let's do it. Yo, big ups MC Astro, man. I fed that dude some vodka and he rocked the mic on Wednesday night. Big shouts to MC Astro, man. Good seeing you, man. I had a blast.
Not in a massive. If you're having a good time, let me say yeah. Good vibes.
We are the Zimmer frame killer. Big driller, thick skinner. Web spinner. The big driller. We are the Zimmer frame killer.
If you're having a good time, let me say good vibes.
Big driller, thick skinner. Web spinner.
That sound is forever poor people.
Oh yeah, here we go. Shouts out there, guys. Happy Saturday.
street scene of my friend. Some of them are beef with them American men. That's how me do it, man, not the ten. But man, I ain't a nine end. Walk down street scene of my friend. Some of them are beef with them American men. Yeah, them are street of them one my leg.
Big up on the DJ Eroc filling in real quick. Dallas's Snowmageddon had some plumbing issues arise, so we have an emergency plumber coming out. So I had to do that, and while Eroc just freaking slayed it. These decks are so amazing, y'all. I can't even get over it. I want to do another proper video, hopefully in the future. High quality camera on the top, so we can see all the detail in the screen, that sort of thing. Anyways, we can play a couple more. Big up Brooklyn for this shirt. Letter Kenny is one of my favorite shows. Yeah, got to get big up my favorite character, Gaylor. She's so funny when she's all, I want to give you that nut. She's so funny. Second favorite character is Rolled. Easy. Easy. And then of course Wayne. I mean, just without saying. Then Gay. She's amazing. going to be the last one here. We're going to wrap it up. My goddaughter's 10th birthday, and we are going to celebrate on a Zoom call. Zoom party. Big up DJ Eroc. Thank you guys for watching us geek out on all this stuff. Had a lot of fun. Gonna go and get ready for my goddaughter's birthday, though. Let's do this. One more time, thank you very much.